People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all well and safe and doing well and safe and all of those sort of things. Now, I apologise for, bringing out this video late. I've had football. My Sunday League team, it's our second game of the season. We got 3 points, people. Calm 3-1 victory. There was handbags, there was penalties, there was a clearance for me off the line. There was everything. But another week, another winger in my back pocket, and I stand by that. I'm on this Kieran Tierney thing. The black Kieran Tierney is what I start calling myself, / the black Roy Keane. I'm on that passion merchant. I'm the man there that just scream it's 0-0. If I had more technical ability, I wouldn't do none of this stuff. But in relation to Arsenal, on a serious note, we beat Fulham 3-0. Again, you want to urge caution. It's the first game of the season. There's 37 games to go in the league, however much in other competitions, With all due respect to Fulham, it's Fulham. Granted, if we had Liverpool or City or one of these teams in the first game of the season and we pumped them how we pumped Fulham, we might be saying differently. But, sorry, no disrespect to Fulham, but, Rob Holding is doing kick-ups and doing Ronaldinho and that, this is not a serious thing for us. With all due respect to them, they're a good side. They got promoted, You can't underestimate them, and I think that game showed the difference between the Championship and the Prem, and it shows probably where Scott Parker can learn from. So I give credit to Fulham, and all of those things. But from a tactical point of view, we're going to get onto it, but it's near enough perfect. Clean sheet. Gabriel scores and keeps a clean sheet. 2 ways of confidence. Leno keeps a clean sheet. Not that anybody can question Leno's quality. You can have positive criticisms of his, but you can't question his quality. We all know with Martinez apparently now completing that move to Villa and just awaiting confirmation, that's there. Considering Gabriel, Arteta made a great point that completely escaped my mind. He's not played for a minute. Remember the French league got, they cancelled their league. He hasn't actually played a lot of football and things like that. So I can't complain. We won 3-0. We kept a clean sheet. Positive performances from everybody, especially a number of individuals in question. It gives us a lot of confidence. For me as well, I want to see us play 4 at the back, but we played 3 at the back. We're not calling it a negative system. We're not saying we're struggling to break teams down and all of those things, people. It's all about the intent, which I think Arteta's got to a T. How it's getting long counting however many passes, but them goals there where it's starting from Leno / Martinez and ending up with Aubameyang putting in the back of the net is no accident. That is hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on the training field. And Aubameyang's done it against Fulham, he's done it against City, he's done it against Liverpool. Well, we've done it against Liverpool, we've done it against Chelsea, etc. These are things that we even did it against Crystal Palace when we drew last season. These are things Arteta is trying to implement. First and foremost, he wants his players to get forward. And I like how Arteta, it was 3 at the back, but he kind of tweaked it early on. There is a lot of things we could build on. I think, for instance, we had a crap load of shots in the second half. First half, even when we scored, it wasn't. We'll take any goal as it comes, and it was good play in the build up to that goal, but it weren't a pretty goal. Lacazette is not going to be in his Arsenal highlights. Do you get it? We didn't really, at a period, test the keeper enough for me personally. We really struggled to create any real quality chances, and we're not going to be perfect. I'm not trying to be negative. That is what it is. We needed the second half to kill the team off. And we went into half time. Forgive me if I'm wrong, at 1-0 and things like that. And we've got to learn to, with all due respect, when a team is playing like Fulham, smell blood, kill them, score 4-5. Really, because at a push, it's 1-0. It's sad to say as an Arsenal fan, but you always fancy Arsenal at 1-0. And it's gone 2 different ways in many games this season for us. But half-time is an important period anyways, but especially when you're 1-0 up. Obviously, in the second half, we did have more shots. We did start to do things. So, to a degree, the numbers become inflated. But I do think when we start off strong, can we look to kill teams off? Can we look to create more opportunities? Can we look to put their keeper under pressure? Because the keeper wasn't equal to a lot. Team Ream was suspect, like you saw for the first goal. When we're playing, and again, can't focus on Fulham, you've got to do this in other games. And I'm not going to lie, people, give credit to Fulham, at a push, they were threatening down the left-hand side. Tierney was equal to it, and Maitland was doing his thing. We'll get on to Maitland and the man there, but they were getting forward, in particular down our right-hand side. And you saw, apologies if I'm not holding it properly, there was numerous times they whipped it across our box, and potentially another team with a striker that's more hungry, that gambles, they could have scored and things like that. Down the right hand, their right, our left, they did look like that's where their goal would come from. Adele was going forward, Can't remember the winger that was there. I think he had an iffy game, admittedly. But from an Arsenal perspective, you know, Gabriel had a solid game. You know, Gabriel, well, like you saw, ignoring this guy for a sec, Gabriel likes to step up. He really likes to step and be aggressive. Like I told you guys, people, he likes that. You know, we played some lovely football. I can't really complain with what I saw. Like I said, man, the shape is amazing, man. The shape is amazing. Obviously, Aubameyang, you know, I think if anyone in that Fulham team had a close to a decent game, I think Michael Hector, you know, the Jamaican international, I think he's a yard man, so I got to have some propaganda. Big up Bobby Reed too, people. But I think he was equal. They were doubling up on Aubameyang. Aubameyang didn't. I wouldn't say Aubameyang had no joy, because he was involved, but there was a bit like it seemed like they were onto Aubameyang. Like, if we are to win this game, you know, they don't want Aubameyang to score. Of course, they made the deadly mistake of over-covering, allowing Aubameyang to come on off that left-hand side and pull it home. You know, it's becoming a trademark goal. But they were onto Aubameyang still. They were really onto Aubameyang. But I liked us, man. I think, you know, Lacazette was doing his thing, dropping deep and being involved. Aubameyang was still being a nuisance. What I liked from our fullbacks as well, you know, I mean, I have to make people a bit closer to kind of exaggerate it for you lot. But, you know, you had, at times, Aubameyang would stay out wide, but he'd come narrow. You know, Willian will do the wide thing, but he wants to come into pockets and pick up the ball around here, like I saw. And I think that would be a good tool for us to have. Bellerin's going to be high. You're going to have Maitland-Niles high. Or actually what you see Aubameyang come a bit narrower at times, and Maitland would do that, and Tierney would be higher up the field. Obviously, naturally, as a team, we all would be. And although we're playing three at the back, it's been slightly tweaked, and we're doing this. And also what you saw as well, as much as Maitland was doing that, it seemed like he had the freedom to become a central midfielder at times. Like you've seen, you know, we've been doing that, and you've seen that frequently over the season. You know, Bellerin probably feels a bit less comfortable, but you did see narrowness. And at times you would see, you know, our actual wide men would be would be narrow. And you'd see Maitland and Bellerin, or you might see swapping, you know. Or at times you actually saw both. We was quite narrow. We was up there in their field sort of thing. You know, you had Tierney covering and manoeuvring. You had our centre-halves. And obviously, just to paint the picture, there was that sort of thing. In relation to our goals, obviously, it would be nice to paint that picture for you lot and review it, people. But you all saw the move, man. You all saw the move. I'm just going to focus on the most crucial part, people. You know, Leno was involved, Bearman was involved. I think Bellerin for one of the goals were involved. You know, that was 1-0 was a good, 1-0 was a, I'm sweating, people, like a madman. I need a tissue. But, you know, 1-0, it was a good move for the guy. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't nice play in particular, you know. If I focus on Fulham for a sec, people, and obviously I apologise for the green screen, because it's probably a nightmare for you lot. But like you saw in a long story short, you probably had Lacazette about there. You know, I can't remember the whole build up, but you had probably, let's say, Willian about there. Let's put him about there. Obviously, it was a good move from front to back, yeah. El Nene, who, you know, that's for another video, had a decent game. He clips it, you know, Aubameyang gets it, he puts it in. You know, Tim Ream should be defending properly. It's a miss-hit from our man, you know, and then Willian gets it and Lacazette scores. But for me, it's all about the build-up, you know, from front to back. You know, it's always a lovely bit of build-up. If we just obviously leave them man there and just focus on the defence, you know, you've got your back three, you've got your full-backs. You typically have Xhaka or someone fielding, and then obviously this isn't real time, but you had El Nene. Eventually we've built it up. Lacazette in real time would drop if it wasn't this move, but you know, these men are involved in the scenario. We've started, listen, we've built from the front, from the back to front in the same way. Aubameyang or whoever's up front has to, that's our first line of defence. This is our first line of attack. And like you saw, it was a lovely move. El Nene clipped it to Aubameyang. Aubameyang put it back, and it's a terrible goal to concede. But the key thing for me, like I said, was El Nene's pass to Aubameyang, because space is being opened up as the other team is shuffling to the other side to try and combat what we're doing, people. And to a degree, another goal was similar. Obviously, it was good play. Big up Holding for the third goal, you know, for the second, I believe, technically. You know, big up Holding. It was a lovely bit of play for him to earn the corner, and Gabriel was equal to it. Now, you know, Arsenal set pieces is a weird one, because, you know, we can see the crap load too much from set pieces. But low-key, for the last couple of seasons, you know, we've been scoring a respectable amount, you know, from set pieces, you know, sort of thing. So we've got work to do in both ends to be perfect. And again, we scored a set piece. We brought in a specialist set piece coach. I don't know if that goal was a result of what we've worked on, but I'm going to assume so, people, because set pieces in both ends will have a big part to play for us in the season. Again, Aubameyang's goal is a thing of beauty, you know. We're talking double digits for passing, you know. It's a serious goal. Again, I don't need to draw dramatics, but like you saw, it's a lovely bit of play from Arsenal players, people. It's a lovely bit of play from Arsenal lads. Make them midfielders deep in their own half. Just slap players onto the field. Yeah. So let's go. Like you saw, we're starting to pop. Them gaps are starting to open. And again, it's a lovely move from front to back. The most crucial pass is obviously not to scale people, but the most crucial pass is Willian playing it to Aubameyang. You know, because again, we popped the team. Again, when you're playing like that, teams start chasing shadows. They might start shuffling all to one side because they think, obviously exaggerating again, there's a threat. And it was more evident against Liverpool actually in the Community Shield, and obviously Aubameyang wasn't as wide as this slightly, but you know, they're all focusing. You all know, Aubameyang anyways, you know, you give him a yard of space anywhere on the football field, he can damage you. But lately in the last few games, fullbacks and midfielders have made the mistake of letting this man lack. It's a lovely ball to switch it from Willian, and the rest is history sort of thing, people. Like I said, the key thing for me is we kept a clean sheet yesterday. Well, yeah, yesterday. We kept a clean sheet yesterday. We scored some goals to give us confidence. You know, Aubameyang and Lacazette, they're our main goal scorers. Apologies for the noise. They're off the mark for the season. That's one less mental thing for them to focus off. Arteta's got the win. You know, West Ham lost yesterday. Not saying that makes it easy for us, but it gives us a bit of confidence going into that game. Obviously, for me, it's the result of things we're doing at the training ground. With Maitland Niles at times being an inverted fullback / centre mid, with allowing Aubameyang to stay out wide or mixing it up. The same goes on the other side. With what our intention with playing out the back is with Leno, because you know, big up. One thing I'll give Emre, he, you know, at a time let's be honest, fans, we wasn't trying to feel the playing out from the back. We didn't have the personnel. Emre wasn't the guy to give us too much confidence, but we wasn't from the jump. We wasn't feeling playing out from the back. But Emre stuck to it, and when you consider we've got Leno and certain other players arrived at this club, you know, you can say these were the building blocks or the first wheels in motions. Arteta's perfected it, because for me it's about the intention. With Emre it was stale. There was no intention. You felt Leno was just passing the ball, or even if it was Martinez or whatever, just passing the ball for the sake of it. There's no intention. We're trying to really pierce oppositions open. We're really trying to hurt them and devastate. I wouldn't necessarily call it a counter-attack, but it's like the minute we see gaps or they're not focused, we do this. And it's a result of the training ground, you know. That goal, not to scale, but we've scored that goal on frequent occasions, people. So it's a good performance, almost dare I say, with the context, a perfect performance of such. The good and the bad thing is, yes, it's a lovely win. It's 3 points. You know, Spurs have lost against Everton, whose signings looked superb. You know, Allen looked good, James looked good, Doucouré was doing his thing. You know, Spurs have lost this weekend. Arsenal have got 3 points. My Sunday league team won. You know, it's a fantastic weekend, and I'm sure there's other reasons for you lot to have fantastic weekends. The weather was shining, but the beauty of it is, you know, it's gone now. It's irrelevant. You're going to lose to West Ham, where, you know, are we playing home or where? I don't know, but we won there away from home last year, but sometimes, you know, playing West Ham can be a bit tricky for us, and it's irrelevant. You know, West Ham need to get chalk up points on the board. I know there's a lot of things going on in the background with West Ham, and a lot of people say such, but they're a club that's going to want to come and win. You know, we've got a target on our backs now. You know, they're probably looking at everything. Arsenal's so perfect, Mikel Arteta's so fabulous. Let's go and ruin that, people. So yeah, man, I've got nothing else to say. It was a good performance, man, but we move forward. It counts for nothing if we can't put a run of form together. Because like I said, when pre-season was starting, people, the boys have to be looking at, okay, first game of the season, we've got this team. That team is next week. The week after is this team, and then that team. Can we have we got an imaginary figure of points that we need to chalk up on the board in an event of when we buck the other top 6 teams and we fail? Have we got a bit of an insurance policy? And at the end of the day, the main word is consistency. You know, we can talk about the micro and the macro until we're blue in the face in relation to Arsenal's problems and why they're not getting top 4, but the bottom line is consistency. You know, a lack of consistency in many aspects. Do you get it? That's why we're not a top 4 team for a number of years, and that's why we finished 8th. I'm not being negative. You know, this is the reality. We're moving forward, and you know, the players played perfect. The mentality was there. The hunger was there. There's a lot to build on. But what can I say, man? There's 3 points at the end of the day. Hopefully it's a decent season from us. But like I said, a long way to go. We need to do some stuff in the market as well. On that note, though, nothing more to add. It's always a pleasure. DG.